And if the beat live, you know Lil Juke made it.
Yo, welcome to Link. Got two very special guests with me today. Very prominent, successful people in the music industry. I'm gonna let them do their own introductions.
I don't consider myself successful for sure, but I'm Cam.
We ain't doing nothing yet.
I'm Cam.
I'm Els, the DJ, from Dallas, Texas.
I'm from here,
Yeah,
but we are fair taste code.
yeah.
And so, who do y'all work with? Like, come on, y'all here for a reason. Don't be modest. Talk y'all shit.
As Fair Taste, we manage producers. Manage Lil Juke made the beat, One Hit Wonder,
Boom Squad Records.
Boom Squad Records.
You know, we got some other things we working on, but
Yeah.
that's what we can say we do now.
They being real modest. How many Billboard records y'all got?
It's a few.
A few.
Oh, few. Oh, okay. So yeah, man, that's a nice modest intro. We're gonna have a lot more. So we're gonna get straight to it, man. So I wanna know, how did you all get into music? And feel free to answer these questions as one individual, just based off what the story is. So what was y'all's individual jump into music?
Mine started at an early age. I used to just be in church every Sunday, really 1 or 2 or 3 times a week. My mom just had me heavy in church. I was a musician, playing drums. Went from playing drums in church to transferring that over to starting my own drum line in elementary school after I saw the movie Drumline. And then did that all through high school, playing drums and everything. And then started DJing in high school. And I just been in music all my life.
Mm-hmm. But for me, it started at a young age for me. My best friend, Josh, he was signed as a rapper when we was kids, and we was I don't even remember, maybe 9, 10 or something like that. And I used to just be with him. I'd go to the studio with him, and we would go and guerrilla market. I remember we used to be on 79th in South Chicago passing out CDs. We used to be on Madison and Pulaski passing out CDs and stuff like that when I was 10 years old. So that was probably my real introduction into being in the music business and even just being in the music when I was 10. Yeah.
So humble beginnings, and you can see they started from jump. So it's no surprise to see y'all where y'all at now. How did y'all meet? Because I know you're originally from Dallas, correct? And then Chicago, we've adopted you. You're ours now.
Yeah.
Cam, you Chicago, Southside, born and raised. How did y'all meet?
So like I said, I'm from Dallas. I graduated high school in 2011. I moved straight up here to go to Columbia downtown, and just in the midst of just kicking it, meeting other people from here. Met my homie DJ Oreo, and really Oreo was the reason we connected.
Shout out Oreo.
Yeah, my homie DJ Oreo, we got connected. Yeah, but we got mutual friends and everything. So yeah. Just come from me kicking around Chicago.
Yeah, for me it was Oreo and my guy Tone, they adopted Hills, and those my friends, so I would come around and he would be around, and it just kind of happened from there.
Yeah. So for people that's not in Chicago and the people that's in Chicago, these two move in a very selected, successful clique, but it ain't no clout shit. It's just like Cam said, it's genuine friends that link up. So
I don't even you saying successful. I feel our friends, they do well and stuff like that, but I just don't look at it that way.
And that's fine, because it works for you.
Yeah.
But as a person that has respect for y'all, I'm gonna say it every time. Y'all successful. That's why y'all
I
here.
appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying?
For real.
And so, how does it feel to be in such a clouded era we live in, to be in these popular scenes, successful scenes, but y'all don't fuck with no clout shit at all? How does that work
Feels great. We really like, we just like to stay like out of the mix of all the goofy shit for real. It's just
Like,
you know.
I've been, since I was like a kid, bro, I always was like, and I'm sure Els the same way, like, we always had like friends and stuff like that. And I come from an era where like social media not the end all be all.
Yeah.
Like my relationships with people are genuine. Like I got friends that I probably don't even follow on the internet, you know? But like we real life genuine friends. When I see you, it's all love. I see your mom, I hug your mom and that type of stuff. But you know, we don't, all my relationships don't gotta be like about the internet, but like, yeah, we've been, you know, since kids. Like, you know, that's just not really nothing. Like, bro, I'm old now. Like, I don't even care about that stuff. I don't be wanting to go nowhere. Like, I be wanting to be in the house and just chill and work.
Yeah.
To be honest, bro.
For both of us, I think it's less about the cloud. It's like, we really enjoy this music shit, like, for real. Like, I would be doing this shit, you know, whether it was a hobby and I wasn't getting paid, whether I was getting paid for it. Like, you know, I really have a passion, just like you said. Like, we both been doing this shit since a very young age, so, like, I don't really care about what anybody else got going for real.
And it's, to be honest, this stuff that come with it.
Yeah.
This stuff that come with it. What you trying to, like, be on the front street all the time and stuff like that. It's stuff that come with it, and I don't want the stuff that come with it. I personally enjoy going to the grocery store with my daughter, and you know what I'm saying. I personally enjoy my privacy, and it be kind of crazy now, like in our DMs and stuff like that. People ask and stuff, but it's probably gonna be crazier after this interview.
That's the plan.
But
I think it's a real testament to y'all's character though. Like it's special to make relationships with genuine people and it actually like stays real and you all can be successful. Like I think if y'all was fake, if y'all was clout chasing, y'all wouldn't be where y'all are and had these different relationships. So shout out to y'all for being rare in this industry. Not everybody cut like y'all. So salute to y'all. When did you all know y'all could work together? Cause being cool is different than y'all actually putting plans together, getting checks together. Like when did y'all realize like, damn, I think me and bro can work together?
I was gonna tell this part of it.
Is there a moment you think?
I think the moment you got the studio.
Oh yeah,
that started everything.
Yeah.
Like we was cool. We never did no business before that though. And even when he got the studio, we wasn't even doing business. What happened was we just started. Els got the studio, you know. This was like what 2018, 2019. It was like late 2018, I think.
Here in Chicago?
It was in Chicago. Yeah, when he was still living here. This was like late 2018. Els, one of his friends was leaving or something like that. They needed another person to go half on them or thirds on them with the studio. And Els was like, man, I don't know if I should do this. And something just told me, like, bro, do it. Just do it.
Can't really talk me into it.
Yeah, like, bro, just, like how we not gonna make something happen out of the studio? Like, it's us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was like, forget it. And that, to me, that was one of the smartest decisions that he ever did. And I'm grateful and I love him for doing it. Because it changed my life for real. But like I said, we would come in the studio every day and just, we didn't have no direction. Like, to be honest, we didn't know what we was doing. But we knew to go to the studio every day. We knew to be in there working every day. Like whatever that looked like, we would be in there watching interviews sometime. We would just be in there talking about music, listening to music, having people come through. And it's kind of like that field of dreams thing. If you build it, they will come type of thing. And it's like, that's what happened. He came to the studio. I mean, he got the studio and we like found our lane somehow. You know, we ain't asked for none of this.
That's crazy to me because. And this is why I want to do this interview because on the outside looking in, you would think that y'all was in that studio every day like, all right, go to YouTube, we're going to find a producer, we're going to find a rapper. But to hear that y'all just was in there.
Bro, like, you know, I work with rappers. I used to work with artists the whole flick. I never thought to work with producers. Then it was like working with him and Oreo, like not necessarily working, but just kind of like being around and giving my input, giving ideas. That was like my first foray into working with people that's not artists. So then producer stuff kind of just came to us. I promise we ain't go looking for that.
Really did.
Like,
every step of the producer, like one hit, like
came to us.
like literally came to us. He was in the studio the first night. We just met him. We were just like blown away by like his talent and everything. It was just like man, what can we do to like build off of this?
It was y'all thinking like, yo, this is a sign, or was it like, just go with it?
We definitely see signs, multiple signs. I think along the way, like it's not always just like we know what we want to do or anything like that. But I think we start seeing those signs, and just pay attention to those and like really follow towards those.
Yeah, that's important too, because as we was like on this journey, we was definitely getting obvious signs from the creator, and it was like we would have been fools to not follow them. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember we was in LA and we saw that literal sign of Megan on the thing.
That's wild.
It was like literal poster of Megan, like a big on the side of a building at somebody's house that we didn't know we was gonna go to when we went there. And we was like, oh, look at that. And I'm like, dude, that's a sign.
That's the biggest sign.
It was like stuff like that. And then even when we was just in Atlanta, it was just stuff like that happening, bro. Like, you gotta pay attention to the signs. That's important.
Y'all have been and are and will continue to be on the right path for sure.
Trying to, man.
So definitely got to ask questions like this, because this is what Link is about. It's about those people that are in that position of trying to get like y'all and even more success. Both of y'all, tell me about when y'all both was like, this shit is not working, and wanted to quit. Obviously you didn't.
You talking about with this?
Just with music.
Oh man.
To the point where you was and we all in the industry, we know you feel like this every other day. What was that day you was like, I'm about to go do something else? Yeah. And you obviously continued, but how did you bounce back from feeling down and defeated?
Man, I used to manage a rapper, and it just didn't work out. And like I had invested a lot of my time, energy, and whatever other resources I had at the time into that, and then that person ended up getting signed, and I wasn't like a part of the situation. And to be honest, in hindsight, I don't even really remember like what happened and why it happened. But I take responsibility and accountability for it, because I probably wasn't who I needed to be at that time to handle that situation. But I'm not gonna lie, at that point in time, I just wasn't even messing with music no more. Like that changed the course of my life forever. Like I just didn't want to deal with music for like years, bro. And like, anybody that know me know I didn't like deal with music for like years. But I would like be around it, but I wasn't like trying to do it in like an official capacity. Because I always gotta go to the studio. I always gotta listen to new music. I'm always exactly, but like I didn't want to do it in like an official capacity.
And so, how did you
stay? How to come back? I mean, like I said, it's in me, bro. Like I can't. Even if what else was saying, even if we gonna do this regardless. Yeah. When I get up in the morning, like if I don't make $1 off this stuff, this is what I want to do. I love helping people become something from nothing. To me, it's nothing more than. It's nothing better than like when you find a new artist. And that period before everybody get on them, and then when they like going crazy, and they about to like take off and stuff like that, and then to see it happen, that's like one of my favorite feelings in the world. And it's like I kind of constantly chase that feeling, whether it's in an official capacity or not. I don't gotta be a manager, I don't gotta be a CEO. Sometimes I just want to help you because I enjoy seeing that,
And to piggyback off that, and the L's, I definitely want to hear your story. I relate to that so much because there's been times where I don't even know the artist. Like I'm just watching them on Instagram. I'm like, oh, this song is not. This is gonna go. This is gonna go. And then it goes. You like, I knew it. You know, like that. It's like validating. It's nothing. It's rewarding. It's validating. It's something that shows like, hey, I'm different. I have a good taste in this and that. So I feel 100%. Yeah. Anyways, when did you want to quit? How did you bounce back?
I'm not gonna lie, the reason I let Cam go first is because I was like literally sitting here trying to think of like a moment, and I for me, it's no other option. Like I literally do this. I do this music shit. Like it's so
lying,
many different.
He lying.
He wanted to quit last week. But I'm just talking about, maybe like when it comes to, but we're just talking about just music in general. I might find something else to do.
He told me,
I don't know.
He told me like, bro, I'm this close to doing something else. I forgot what
it was cap at the end of the day. Like,
it's
I can't
always
all
cap.
the time.
It's always cap. I'm just saying, though.
I'm not gonna really do it. Like I'll be frustrated to the point where like, I might need some time off before I like cut somebody out and do some crazy shit. But like.
But like when you going back and forth from Dallas and Chicago, like it was like I know I know you hustling getting some money doing show, but like what was the point when you just like even if you were continuing doing stuff with the music, you said this is what I'm doing.
telling you, bro, literally, like I went from playing drums to DJing to now like on my executive shit, which even the whole time with me DJing, I kind of been on some executive shit. Like I was always throwing my own parties. Like doing shit, under the radar, like that's, music business, that shit, promoting concerts, whatever you want to call it. Like, I've been doing this stuff. Like, I literally wake up in the morning and I'm on some music shit every day. To me, there is really no other option. Like, and I ain't even never really sit and thought about that. Like, I ain't been on some, like, I don't have like a plan B. Like, I did at one point when I went to Columbia, I did want to get like a marketing job, and my plan was to like work in marketing during the day, like an ad agency or something. And then, DJ Thursday through Sunday, like on the weekends or whatever, like, cause that's just what I saw. But then I got up to Chicago, and I'm seeing people up here that's like, really, like Chicago turned me up in a way to see that like, nigga, there's promoters up here that like just promote. There's rappers up here that just rap. There's niggas up here that sell clothes that just sell clothes. Like they really getting it off of like whatever they passionate in. So it's like as soon as I got up here and saw that, like I was gone from that moment. Like I'm finna run with this music shit in some kind of way, and like. That's just how it's been, bro. I really don't think I had a moment where I just like I can't say like I might trip for a day or something, but I'm right back to it.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So what made you even come to Chicago? Because you was in Dallas. You could Atlanta, Houston. So what brought you to this?
A couple different reasons. So like when I was graduating from high school, generally everybody's plan is to like go to like a school in Houston or whatever, something like that. Like I kind of didn't want to, like I'm always running away from like what everybody else trying to do. So to me, it's like I wanted to go to like PV or like I even went to like visit U of H or something like that. But I just wanted to do something different for one. So that alone led me to apply for like music school in Boston. I got accepted into Berkeley, like I had a scholarship and everything. But I only applied to 2 colleges. Like literally, I applied to Columbia, and then I applied to Berkeley College of Music in Boston. And I went up to Boston. I wasn't really feeling Boston. And shit, the first time I ended up even coming to Chicago was for my freshman orientation. And at Columbia. Like I never visited Chicago before that or anything. Like I just kind of went off the fact that I wasn't really rocking with Boston. And so, I don't know. And everything just ended up being perfect timing. Like,
and what year is this?
2011, fall 2011. So literally, I moved.
So you was like,
bro, I came.
The explosion was
at
here.
The perfect time, bro. Like DJing, music wise, I'm telling you, bro, I came at literally the perfect time. Like that was right. Like I remember coming back home after Christmas break, in December or January or whatever, and I got in the car. Like I'm with my homies. And they played me like Cheap Keep Bang and shit like that. And it was like right after that, bro, Chicago was just on a whole nother level. It's just it's crazy.
I think every person that was from Chicago in Chicago that time, we looking back at that like, that shit was crazy.
No, I knew, bro. I was in school. I was in Missouri in school in like 2008, and I'm like, man, I gotta come home, bro, because like. I'm down there in like the middle of nowhere, and I just felt like, so historically, any period of time or any place that has like turmoil or like violence or like things like that, you gotta pay attention to the art that comes out around that time, because the art is always like very good. And that's historically every time period where it's been like extremes, the art comes in this extreme as well. And so I was at school and I felt it, like it's just something in my bones, like bro, I gotta come home, I'm down here in the middle of nowhere, like doing whatever, but the place to be is where I'm from, you know? So it's like I gotta go home, and I came home, it was like '09, and you know, this is before Chief Keef and them. But like at that time, it was only Twista, Common, Kanye, like that type of vibe. But our story, like the street story, wasn't being told, and I knew it was people to tell that story. I knew it was gonna happen.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's one of the happiest, like proudest moments for me. Like, cause I was always the dude, you know, driving to work, driving to school. I'm playing Gucci Mane. I'm playing the hottest artists from other cities because we didn't, you know, I didn't have an artist that gave me that feeling.
Yeah.
But man, when Keith came, when Dirk came, when Louis came, I'm now riding down A$AP and Stoney listening to that, and it's just it was different.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about the energy here, man. This is like I said, it was obviously because I didn't want to go to Boston or whatever. I didn't want to stay in Texas, but I don't know, something just led me here. Like also I did have like 2 or 3 homies that I graduated high school with that also kind of went up here at the same time. So that kind of helped in the transition. Like at least I'll come up here and know people. But man, I never been to Chicago before school. So that's like for me to just come here and like everything was perfect timing. Like,
and I wanna point out, I'm always a fan of higher education and of all sorts. But just the fact that both of you all have mentioned education and pursuing it, whether it completed or whether it was the stepping stone, like you can do more than one thing. Like
was graduated.
Oh,
give him his flowers.
Salute to you.
Salute to you. Graduated too. I ain't graduated, but it's cool though.
You didn't have to.
Cool.
You smarter than the people there. You know what I'm saying? But I just say that to say like that story needs to be told more often. The average rapper is, oh yeah, I just trapped every day, and then the next day I was a rapper. Like no, like tell the real story.
But I want to be honest though, and I don't want to like steer the people the wrong way. Like I went to college because that was like the next logical step. I didn't go to college because I wanted to go to college. You see what I'm saying? It was like everybody else was going to college.
Yeah.
Like now in this generation, everybody ain't necessarily going to college. So like maybe if I was born a little later, I might not would have went. But like with my generation, it was like the next logical step. It was like everybody went to college. Like, and we used to like schools that had like a 90% acceptance college rate. Like you feel what I'm saying? So it was like, in hindsight, I don't wish I would have went to college. I kind of wish I would have stayed here and just like got it popping sooner. You know what I mean? It's like kind of learn my purpose sooner because school is a great place. Like I got some of my best friends in life from school, you know, but like I went to school for journalism. You know, do I use any of that now? Maybe somewhat. Like when I be trying to get people interviews and stuff like that, maybe, yeah, like, but you know, I didn't choose to really go to college. It was kind of like just what happened. Like if I could redo it, I probably would have stayed home, like to be honest, and just like figured it out from there. Because I also didn't know I wanted to pursue music as a career at that point. Like at that point, bro, you gotta look at it. Like in '09, that shit wasn't even like no realistic thing.
It wasn't. Not
like
Chicago.
Telling your mom, like, bro, I'm finna be somebody's manager. You feel me? That wasn't like a real thing though. Like, but like a few years later, it became a real thing. Like now, that's a real profession. Like it's people you could go show your mama your W-2s and W-9s and shit like that. Bro, I'm getting paid for real. Like you know, it wasn't like that back then. It was like John Monopoly. You feel me? And it was like a couple other people like that. But like now, it's like for every rapper, it's a manager. For every rapper, it's a cameraman. It's so many other jobs that's in the entertainment business that exist. Other than being the rapper. You feel what I'm saying? That your parent, like my mama now, she understand what I do. When I was younger, she was like, nigga, you going to college. You feel what I'm saying? Like you gotta figure this out, you might to get a job and all of that. But now she understands like, oh, okay, this what you was trying to do. And I don't fault her because it just wasn't a thing back then, bro. You know, who could have predicted the way the internet is and the monetization of music and all that stuff, but like now it's like a real viable job. You know?
And
that leads into my next question.
But I also wanted to say, like, sometimes it's not about where you are, it's where you weren't. And if you was here, who knows what would happen?
No, that's
You know
a
what I'm
fact.
saying?
Yeah,
So,
I don't regret nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't regret
for sure.
nothing. I'm just saying, like, if I could, like, because I do wish that. Like, I do kind of wish, like, man, I would have stayed here and just got, because I don't feel like my college years was a waste because every experience was an experience, but I made great friends there and I, like, learned things about myself and stuff like that, but I don't think, like, that was really useful to my path.
I feel
You know what I mean?
I feel. So, both of them smart.
So my next question, like you just said,
Like, I love this era that we live in with music because now you got managers that are damn near celebrities, A&Rs that are celebrities, videographers that, like, you can really build your own brand up. So, again, Link is the reason I want people to know you can do more than just be the rapper. Cam said it, like, that's literally what this is about. People have so many different skill sets and different passions that you could become the next so-and-so or the next you and open a whole nother door. So how did y'all find y'all's lane? Because I know y'all both do a lot of stuff well, passionate about a lot of stuff. How did you find, like, yo, this is my lane? And even now that you're in the lane, like, who does what? Like, who's the hey, just want to inquire about that email, and who's going, like, yo, where's the check? Who's Dame? Who's Jay? Like, what's y'all personalities within y'all lane?
It's crazy we talk about this like all the time. It's like we kind of both have to be in a sense, you know. I would say Cam is a little more on things when it comes to like being a professional in the email, but then they might not respond to him, and it's like, okay, then I got a bad girl, like, yo, what's up? Like, what are you doing? Like, you know. So we both just kind of have to be. We make fun of it all the time, even when it comes to like stuff with, you know, our producers or whatever. Like I might have to play the mom, he got to play the dad in the role. Like we both definitely do.
Yeah, I think honestly, there's not one thing that I do or that Els does that we each can't do.
Yeah.
But I think that the things that we do are the things that we do naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Like I naturally like to email people. I think that's cool that I be emailing people.
I hate it.
I
get anxiety before I send before I send emails to like, cause I make a lot of like spelling errors, like I'll be typing too fast or something like that. So like sending a mass email with like 8, 10 people, whatever, people are saying, like, I'm like, oh my god, did I spell that right?
I actually enjoy it.
Yeah,
because I think it's cool that I be having emails from @Rock Nation, like at Atlantic, or at whoever else. Like I think that's cool to me. Like my younger self, like that's like he like, oh damn, that's cool. Like you feel me? So I enjoy that. Like so, I naturally gravitate to that part. Now, Els, he may be a lot more social than I am, you know. So like when we go somewhere, he might be the one to try to, hey, let's link up with these people, let's align this up. That might be what he does, you know, at that particular time. But I can get in that bag sometimes, like when I have to, you know what I mean? But like I said, I think we both kind of just work well together, and we know when it's the other person's turn. Like to be honest, bro, like I say, like I'm just grateful because this whole situation just came out of nowhere. Like literally, he got the studio. One of their friends became a successful producer, and
man, name drop.
I mean, Jew, I'm just saying, like, they know him. Like, they've been knowing Jew for years. Like, his friend, Keith, is the reason why me and Els are even doing this. Because Keith and Jew, for sure, shout out to Keith, for sure. Because Keith and Els are friends, but Keith and Jew are good friends, like, since they was kids type thing, or like high school type thing, you know? And Jew became like very successful at a point in time, and he needed help. And shit, they reached out to us because we had been learning it. Yeah. Like I think I always been like educated on music and the business, but like the music production thing, that's something completely different. Yeah. Like that's a whole nother business. And me and Els took the time. Once we met One Hit Wonder, we realized like, all right, hey, this might be a lane for us. You know, we took the time to literally learn everything that we could about music production and the business side. Like, bro, we spent probably 6 months to a year in the studio, hours every day, just watching interviews, reading books, talking to people, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure shit out.
And this is before this lit. So
Before we even talked to Drew about doing anything.
We was already like studying all of this stuff. It was just off like perfect timing for real. Like,
that's so profound. But you have to prepare yourself for what you're trying to get.
And then, bro, like literally, I remember the day Keith called me like, man, I got this friend, woo, he doing this, that, and the third, Megan Thee Stallion. I'm like, huh? And then I think he talked to Els too, and I talked to Els. I'm like, bro, no, this is it.
yeah.
This is it right here, bro. Like, we have to, whatever we do, we gotta, this is it, though.
Cam be the one following the signs for real.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Because like I'm a very spiritual person, bro. Like I've been through a lot of things in my life, and like I see the signs, bro. Like I know that we not controlling this joint. I know that it's somebody else controlling this joint, you know? And if you pay attention, you will see they'll be talking to you. They trying to, you know, like I truly believe that God and the universe conspire for your best interest. For everybody's best interest if you pay attention, you know? And it ain't just by happenstance that all of this happened. Yeah. It ain't just, I don't believe in coincidences, because it's not random that He's called us and we have been preparing for a year for this moment. So like, I'm talking about, bro, literally the day Jew, like we just knew what to do. Like we literally step by step, we just knew what to do, and that's why it is how it is now, because we knew what to do. Like we had been preparing for our opportunity. Yeah.
And you just literally just answered my next question. I didn't have to ask it. Like that was my next question. So, as someone that's dipped and dabbled in management, like I'm sure many other people out there have, I've had my trials and tribulations. I had that breakthrough, but management is something that I do love. And so I have to ask, how did you create the trusting relationship with you? Because without the trust, is nothing.
I think that just came from one, like my relationship with Keith. Like Cam said, like I've been knowing Keith since 2011, 2012. And like you said, Keith and Jew are friends. Just how Jew and Keith are tight, me and Keith have been that tight. Like it was just like he was the link in between us. And so really me and Keith been throwing parties together. Like in Dallas for like years, we used to throw this crazy event called TV Retreat. So I've been dealing with Keith on like a money perspective for years. So he knows how I am with money. I think he kind of just saw me from that angle. Yeah. And so knowing that like when the situation started between all of us, it was like, you know, Cam didn't know Drew didn't know Cam, but I think Drew kind of trusted, you know, me from dealing with my relationship with Keith and knowing that, you know, Keith can't say I mistake him, you know, that's not even like in my blood, you know, we really like, we brothers for one, and then this extra shit when it comes to parties or whatever, it's just like, yeah, we do that to have fun and make money and everything, but you know, it just can't, I think it stemmed from that is what I would say.
And it wasn't easy though. Yeah. Like at the beginning, Jew was not trusting him.
That's true. Yeah.
At the beginning, he was not, and they knew each other, you know? Yeah. But at the beginning, he felt, because I'm gonna be honest, bro, at a point in time, and you gonna see it, I guarantee you gonna see it. And you've probably seen it before actually. When people start getting hot, weird shit start happening.
Yes.
People start coming out of nowhere, bro. You see what I'm saying? Weird shit start happening. So it was important to me to just kind of like let Jew know, like, look, our word is our word. What we say we gonna do, we gonna do. If I can't do something, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I can't do it. Yeah. So it's important to under promise and over deliver. We wasn't coming in trying to tell you we finna do this, that, and the third, and all of this. We just saying, look, we know we could do this, but we couldn't even imagine it was gonna be like it is now. I promise we didn't think it. Well, I remember the day when we found out, like, wait, what? We could get how much? Yeah. We wasn't expecting that, you know. But like, we it came from just under promising and over delivering, and Jew finally trusting us. I think him just allowing us, like, and I thank him for that because he gave us the opportunity to mess up. He gave us the opportunity to sink or swim. Like it was a point in time where we was like managing him, but he wasn't like all in. You feel me? You could tell he was kind of like just, all right, we're gonna see what y'all do type of thing.
Yeah.
And then it just was like everything I said I could do, I could do. Everything he said he could do, he could do. And we never like lied to him one time. He never lied to us one time. I think that's like the most important part of our relationship now. Like I said, Keith's being an integral part because he knew I was smart and he knew I knew music. So that's probably why I think he pulled me in and shit. But like Ju's ability to just trust us and give us the opportunity, like, so like your question was, how was we able to build that trust? And I think it's just because we never messed up the trust.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So I hear two very important things for that.
And yeah, for the people out there, treat every relationship and every engagement that you have with the same integrity and respect. Because you fucking off this one situation down the line to come back like, nah, don't mess with bro, cause he, you know. And then the next thing I hear is that like, shout out to Jew, because for the talent, which whether it's an artist or a producer, it's a very tough thing. Like, and you have to be built a certain way to be able to navigate that. Like I've seen artists, you know, lock in with me like, yo, we're gonna do this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like temptation. Like people, like you said, come out of nowhere and they do the opposite of what you're talking about. They overpromise and they show you the flash and this and that. And some people just, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go this way. And then in the long run, they get, you know, in bad situations. So as if to the artists out there, be a stand-up person. And for
the managers too, though. Managers stand everybody.
Everybody.
Be a stand-up person. Let's be a stand-up. That's gonna take you far.
That's the problem we have, and you know, everybody not standing.
And like you said, people gonna mess up.
Yeah, facts.
But it's even if you do something wrong, it's still the right way to do something wrong.
See, and I'm gonna be honest. Like I said earlier, I probably wasn't the person who I needed to be at that time with the prior situation. And through situations like that and other situations, I learned the importance of integrity. I learned the importance of honesty. I learned the importance of building that trust. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't easy, bro. Like I said, I've been through situations where I lost an artist or I lost a client, or you know what I mean? And it's not necessarily because I might have done something wrong, but it could have been. You know, so like now, I'm very cautious of that.
Yeah.
I'm very, because it's like a reputation take forever to build, but it take just like that to ruin. You know what I mean? So like I said, just Ju's ability to trust us and, you know, us delivering with everything we say that we can do and not just promising nothing grand.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Damn, this conversation is so great. Like I want to get to some more Jew questions, and I definitely want to ask y'all some industry questions. And you know, the rest of the time, I just want y'all drop gems and motivation to people like myself, people that's trying to get in the game, like that they can navigate. Did Jew say to y'all like, yo, I need this? Like, how did y'all realize what they need? Just like, for example, artists will depend on the artist, but the average artist will say, yo, I need some money. Like, what did you need?
Money. But I mean, more than that, at the time, he might not even have known what he needed. He might have knew what he wanted, but what he really needed is what I think he got. And that was like a team of people to help him stay with what he needed to do. Because at the beginning, he probably wanted money and things of that nature, but it was so much more to that. Because he could have just got the money and you could have forgot about you. You know what I mean? He could have been that one dude who had that one song at that point in time. But like, you know, I don't think he came to us with like a list of demands or anything that he needed. I think we did have a conversation about expectations, just like about what we could do and about what he want from us. But it was more of just like about help, you know, just help in general. And obviously he wanted to get compensated for his works because everybody around him was getting compensated for his work. And as a producer, you can't just go do a show and get paid.
Yeah.
You know, the artist this was what was happening. The artist was touring the country, touring the world, getting paid, and he might not have been getting paid yet. And, you know, that's a terrible situation. I mean, you know, so we came in and just legitimized him, I think, and just helped him do what he needed to do, because his talent was there.
Yeah.
He'd been a dope producer, you know what I mean? But it was important for us that his brand continued to grow as Megan brand continued to grow, because we didn't want him to fall by the wayside, like I say, and just be that one producer that one time. And that's also a credit to Megan's loyalty with Ju.
Sure.
Ju brand continued to build, and he continued to do things outside of her, but she's also very loyal and keeps him on every step along the way.
I'm
You know?
so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's the total opposite.
I mean, and like I say, that could be the producer's fault though, because if you still in the same place as the artist is elevating, you not necessarily elevating with the artist.
Yeah.
You know, and it was important for us. Like Juice still was traveling outside of Megan, going to places, and we would pop up and see her in the same city, but it wasn't necessarily like planned.
Yeah.
You know, like he wasn't going on tour or going on the shows and stuff like that, but we were still doing our own thing, and his train was still moving. I think that was the most important thing to us, for his train to still move. So yeah, it was about the money, but it was just about for his brand to continue to grow too.
Exactly. Exactly. For both of y'all, what was your individual moment of like, this shit is working? Like, what was it? A check? Was it a billboard? Like, what was it like? This is that I'm officially made it in the music industry. What was that moment? And don't say, oh, we ain't had it yet. Like,
Yeah, I would say, I guess to make it easy, I could say like the check, but also just like before the check, like Cam mentioned, I remember we got this text like saying how much money we could possibly get. So the check was like one thing, but I don't even want to make it about the check. It's really not even just about that, but the money of it was kind of like, all right, cool, this is like some major shit, but I don't even know, like for real, like, I guess I can't even say that. I don't want to say the check today, because I don't want people looking at this like and thinking like, you should be chasing out the dollar when it comes to
but
that shit.
how
Like
you just said that to me shows, like you said, it was the text about what could.
Yeah.
That's very powerful.
I actually agree with him, and he got all this shit on video too.
Yeah.
Like we was having a conversation with one of the companies or whatever, and they was telling us how much money that we could get. And yeah, one came in a text message, the one guy from one company, and then we had a conversation. I think that's what you got on video.
Yeah.
When we was in Atlanta having a conversation, and I was dancing and shit. Like, damn, bro, they really do this.
That's the moment,
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
the moment.
We sitting around like never,
That's the
bro.
shit.
Like, and I think it was all of us collectively. Like, damn, you know,
That it is.
that was it.
Yeah.
It was like what we could get, and it like he said, it's not about the money.
Not the dollar. No.
Yeah. But it was like the fact that the work that we was doing at that time paid off for real.
Yeah.
You know, in a major way. And it was like, damn, okay, we really added value to the situation, because you know, full disclosure, when we first came on, Ju had offers on the table. He had people reaching out to him already, and that's why he came to us. He was actually this close to signing a situation that he probably would have ended up regretting, because he needed the money. You know what I mean? But we came on like, nah, bro, don't do it. And I think that made me feel the best, that I didn't send him off and tell him turn down this money, and we ended up getting like 10 times that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Just because he had faith in us and listened and actually turned it down. To me, that was like, bro, we did. Like what we set out to do, we did. But like, to your point, I don't feel successful in the music industry, bro. We had so much more that we want to do and accomplish to where I might could feel successful.
Yeah.
And I think that's important too. You can't get complacent with like dollar amounts. It's be so many people who get signed and you never hear from them again, but they got that check that one time, though, you know? Els love this Rick Ross video, and I love it too. Say what he said, bro. You know what he say. The Breakfast Club interview, where he talk about we gonna say how many millionaires you made.
Oh yeah.
I definitely see
We gonna look back and
that's
see how many millionaires you made. It ain't, it's about you can get that money, but like what you gonna do with it? Like what are you doing to like keep your legacy going for real? I can't even remember to like quote. I'm bad at like quote.
That's really the main quote though. How many millionaires have you made? What have you done? Like
he got on the orange.
Like how have you really contributed to this thing? And to me that's more important than being perceived as successful. I feel like my true legacy probably won't ever really be known because, and I'm saying this humbly, I feel like I'm responsible for a lot of shit that I don't necessarily like get credit for, but it's not about the credit though.
True.
I genuinely love to see culture move, bro. I genuinely enjoy it,
I love to just wake up and do this and not have to go work
regular
somewhere.
job.
I don't have to, I don't want to be like that in itself. There's so many people in the world that go to work and hate waking up in the morning, they go to work.
Living the dream.
Just me living off of music. Like at this point, I ain't had to clock in like 10 years, bro. Like, that's a blessing in itself. Like to even just to be able to say that.
Nah, for real, bro. Like I hadn't made $1 off of music for like 20 years, like no cap. Like I said, I've been doing this since my friend was signed. I was like 10 or whatever. Bro, I hadn't made $1 off of music for so long. So like just to say like I'm sustaining myself off of music,
Man.
that is a good thing to say. I don't take that for granted.
I'm smiling because that's what I'm trying to get to. Like,
Don't get that, you just gotta stay down, bro.
So everybody, this interview is for me
as much as it is for y'all. Like y'all hearing this story, like
Shit took me 20 years, bro.
20 years.
That's what I'm saying, and that's no cap on it at all. I've been doing this since I was 10. I ain't making $1 off music till I was probably like 29, 30, bro.
Next thing I want to ask, so clearly it's the difference
between managing a rapper and a producer.
Sure.
But you've never managed a rapper, correct?
No, not yet.
You have. So let's scratch what's the difference because it's obvious.
I want to know what is it like
Working with Jew, like his personality, his
quirks, because I've just from running into him a couple times, he's a much bigger presence than I thought. Like seeing him, like low key, kind of tall. He has an energy with him. It's like he seems like a cool ass dude. So like, what is it like working with him? The good, the bad, the great. Like, is he funny? Like all type of.
It's my nigga, man.
Yeah, it's really funny. Like
That nigga loud as hell.
Loud as hell. Like, he's my roommate.
They
Also.
live together. I can live with that nigga. Bro.
Luckily, I tell him this all the time. Brothers think I'm talking shit about him. Luckily, I wake up every morning earlier than him. Like every morning I wake up earlier than him because if I like slept in and like I had to like him to rely on him being my own body. This nigga is so loud, bro. He just be talking loud and everything. But
that's because he's a producer.
Yeah,
I think that's really what it is. Because his ears be nuts to speak.
That nigga yelling, bro.
Literally, you talk about the loudest. He like literally the loudest nigga you will ever know. But he a good nigga though. Like, you know, like literally one of the best producers I've ever been around and witnessed and seen. Like, you know what I mean? I put the house up against him, against anybody and anything. Like when it comes to producing, like literally making the beat, it's nothing he can't do. You know what I mean? Like we get him in producers in rooms with like established producers and shit, and they all be like, "Nah, you know what the fuck you doing?" And everybody, he end up teaching them some shit. You know, every time, bro. Like, you know, his personality, he's just a genuine good person. Like Jew don't really mess with people like that. He mess with his friends. And that's why I'm thankful that he let me in. Like, you know, like I just been knowing him for the past 2-3 years, you know, and all his friends is friends that he done had for years. You know, he don't really just rock with niggas like that. And he's real like family oriented, you know what I mean, things like that. But it ain't really no bad. The bad is him just being loud, I think. And we be late to places a lot.
So like, talk more on that, cause like that sounds like some rapper shit.
But I take accountability on that as a manager. Like, it's your fault. Like the artist or the client, they gonna do that. Like that's what they do. So like, I gotta start lying to him and tell him we gotta be somewhere at 2, but really,
You gotta be
you gotta get it to the 4. That's my fault. And Els actually said that a long time ago, like, bro, we just gotta start lying to him, you know? Like, because
know your clients.
you gotta know your
So
personality.
why is that? He's just a creative, so he move how he want to move. You gotta smoke first. Like, what's the?
I don't know if it's just him. Like, I don't know how Drew was like before. Like, if he was just always late to places and stuff like that. But I think he just a little lackadaisical when it comes here. Now he got money now. He got to get fresh every day, and so that in itself, he take a little time to get his fits together and shit like that. So that kind of goes into it. But
It's just, to me, I think it's like the job of a manager. You have to make sure your client gets somewhere on time. So like I said, I take the accountability of that. If we be late, I apologize to everybody we ever been late. For some of y'all can blame me. Don't blame me, blame me, or blame Els.
that's just some artist shit too.
Yeah, I
man.
think that's just
Creative.
I've been blessed around to be like around a couple big artists, and like a lot of them got that problem. Man. Like a lot of them got that problem. I won't just say it's just Drew. Like, and I look at Drew like that. Like I was just telling Cameron that like Drew to me is an artist. He has like mindset. Like that's how we treat him for real. And, like and just to even piggyback off Cam said, like like Drew is. I don't know, man. Personality wise, is one of the best people. That's just me being biased too, because I also think that a lot of people from Texas is just cool and laid back. That's just like
Texas.
shout out to Texas. A lot of dudes from there is just like real chill and shit like that compared to
shout out to Texas.
And then like bro, one of the best producers like on that side of it. Like I don't think it's a lot of dudes touching it. I can verify it. Like when I go in these sessions, and sometimes you will link with other producers, man. Another producer might start off a beat or whatever, but the shit Drew might come in and add to it or whatever, and take it to a whole nother level. Like, and I'm ready. It's like people see that, I think already, hopefully, and if they don't, I think it's coming. Like, I know it's coming, Like, I'll bring up this one situation. Like, we was in the studio the other day with this artist. I won't mention her name, but like I remember she was playing songs, so we can kind of hear what was like what she had been working on and everything. I remember she told her A&R like, yo, don't play him those beats or whatever. He make twerk beats or whatever. It's like she just kind of boxed him in. I was just kind of like, I didn't say that. I was kind of like shit my head like, man, you don't even know. Like, Drew instantly started playing beats and she like, damn, like,
My bad.
Yeah, like he making different type of shit that you just wouldn't even expect. So just don't box my man's in. Like what he does with Megan might be, and even between you pay attention to him and Megan got different styles. So you really can't box him in off that alone. But just everything that's coming from now, like Drew's about to go from this level that he is now, which is already here, but like to a whole nother level, and he's gonna show y'all that. And I just I'm glad we get to be a part of that and like help
2021, we getting out the box.
Yeah,
You heard it first.
You
You heard it first on Link. Last year, it was fourth quarter game.
Yeah.
I think they second quarter game this year. I don't know.
We second half.
Second half. Okay.
So the fourth quarter is just the fourth quarter, but the second half, that's the third and the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So we
like
gonna
that.
we gonna need it for something too.
For sure.
So this, I ain't gonna lie, this is probably my favorite question.
And then we're gonna get to a different topic.
How
Do you help make another person's dreams come true while chasing / accomplishing your dreams as well? Because that's exactly what y'all do.
Yeah.
How in the world do you do that?
For me, they all one and the same.
Yeah.
For me, it's like making Drew's dream come true is my current dream. I think the job of a manager is to take on the dreams and hopes and wishes of their client.
Yeah.
Like I talk to Drew every day, like what you trying to do, what you want, what can I do? Like, you know what I mean? And when he tell me what I can do, I go do it. Like, that's my dream. My dream is kind of like, I mean, obviously I have individual goals and things like that, but like currently, what brings me that like feeling is seeing him accomplish those things.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Like just seeing him accomplish those things, he does it for me. Like, and I don't feel like I'm owed anything. I don't feel entitled to his success, but I just feel like that makes me feel happy to see him live his dream. Like, I genuinely love to see people go from nothing to something. That's like what does it for me.
That's extremely selfless.
Yeah, you know, I might even, cause like, I might be selfish in some way. Like, you know, I feel good, it make me feel a way, but you know, I just genuinely love seeing him. And like I said, like, that's kind of like my dream. That means I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If my clients constantly realizing their dreams, that means that we're doing our job. So it's like it kind of is helping us realize like that part of it, you know?
Literally, what's good for you is like good for us, you know?
Exactly.
And vice versa, like, you know, the higher we can like take this all mutually, like the higher it's gonna go. Like we just gotta keep pushing.
Yeah. And I think with that, this is just my opinion for y'all. Like, I agree with y'all and keep it that way, but don't be surprised when that light come shine on y'all.
Yeah.
That's like
we doing interviews now.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because I think
It's already shining.
I think
that's the path, like, to get, you know what I'm saying? Like, I look at, you know, people like Wayno or people that started somewhere and elevated someone and then got their own life. But it wasn't with, you know, pushing somebody out the way. It was very organic.
Yeah,
So y'all get ready for that.
And actually, growing up too, I always looked up to like those people, the people in the background. I always looked up to like the Steve Stouts, the Chris Lighty, and the Shakira Stewarts, and you know what I'm saying? People like even Monops and shit like that. People like that who was just kind of like in the background, but you heard their names on rapper songs and shit like that. You ain't necessarily know who they was.
But you knew that name.
Like even like Biggs or Rockefeller. Like, you know, Dame was one person, but he was like all in the videos and shit. You know, Biggs was in the cut. You was like, what did this nigga do? Like, when I was a kid, I never knew, like, but like I just knew, like, man, I kind of want to be like them, you know. So like, you know, as a manager, it's like you kind of have to forego a lot of what your personal dreams are, and it's not even like on some Langston Hughes dream deferred shit. Just you're not like deferring your dream, but I think you just, cause like I think Els could probably say this a little bit better because he's a DJ. You know, he has like his own individual brand.
Yeah.
You know, but like I think now he finds happiness in building this brand. You know, as opposed to maybe his individual brand. Not saying that his individual brand has stopped. But I think it's like what bring him happiness maybe is in because that's the job of a manager.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So, because I like to look at it as creative pyramids. I feel like there's a pyramid of creativity, and you have to get to the top of your pyramid. So if you notice, some people that, let's say, somebody at the top of their pyramid is fashion design. They can probably also draw. They can probably also maybe do some type of graphics. Like, it's when you meet creators, they're not just gonna be good at one thing, but it's about getting to your peer. Like, what do I do the best? And yeah, that's dope.
I wanted to know. Okay, so
I want to slide in just a little industry talk, just some very plain, no name dropping industry talk, and then we're gonna get into some more motivational shit as we close out. What do y'all like and dislike about the industry? Because y'all are really in it, and people that are in it knows it's wonderful things about being in the industry and all this cool shit, this and that, but it's also some shady stuff, some challenges, some difficulties. Just what would you just say about working in the industry? Specifically the hip hop music industry. Anything y'all want to say?
For me, it's like I don't like to complain about people because it's like I said, I'm gonna continue to do my thing regardless. But I do hate that there's kind of like no like real barrier of entry in this music industry for real. Just like, you know, like it is to be a doctor. Like, you know, you gotta go to school, you gotta get this certain level of certification to be. And so with that, I'm just saying that because I think that brings a lot of confusion just within the industry. Like, you know, on the music business side, a certain person will be telling you, you gotta do this, you gotta do certain things like that. And you really shouldn't be doing that because, you know, you might sign this paper and they might have you publishing life or something like that. You know, it's just the low barrier barrier of entry for the music industry has always been kind of like a little weird to me. But you know, how can we really stop that?
That's very profound. I've never heard that before. But
Yeah.
so I've heard it, but not as well explained by you, like you just did. Because it is a problem. Like it's like I just heard, somebody on the Breakfast Club. I forget, but it's definitely a respected person. They say, no, Cameron. What's Cameron? I can't remember. But regardless, they just saying like hip hop is the only thing that you just wake up and like, yeah, I'm a rapper today.
Like, you don't have to go through no training, no learning. Like you don't even learn music. You just get you some money, go to the studio. Like
it's annoying. Even like DJing, like I'm very passionate about DJing. I swear to God, before I even like stepped outside to like do a gig where I practiced in my bedroom for a whole summer, like 3 or 4 months. Like literally, I practiced every day on turntable and shit like that, like in high school. And like I put the time in. And like now it's like people go buy a controller and be doing a party next week. And like that's why people events be terrible, because you have a terrible DJs that don't really have no experience or anything like that. Like I don't know, that's just one thing that's, like I said, it's always been kind of annoying to me, but you know, I try not to let it get to me or whatever. I understand that just is what it is. I don't let other people or what they're doing, you know, kind of like affect me. But it is kind of annoying in a way. Not to say that like, I feel like you got to DJ a certain amount of time or anything like that. I'm not trying to say that should be a limit or even that everybody should go to school for what they're trying to do, but it's like, at least
some type of work.
if you're gonna do it, like try to like have some respect about the industry and like really like put some time in, put some knowledge in, like before you just go out and just like do stuff, you know.
For me, I think I just like the lack of accountability for not being a real nigga in the industry. I think that like people will tell you some shit and have no intention of actually following through on it. And it's like you just have to accept that as par for the course. And that's literally what happens in this industry. Like, you know, when somebody tell me they're gonna do something, unless it's somebody I really fuck with or really know, I don't believe it. You know, I believe actions. I don't really believe your words and shit like that.
sounds good, well, man. That's a wrap. Episode 1 of Link.
Man, appreciate y'all not only for coming here again.
They don't do this. They don't do this.
So I like, in all sincerity, I appreciate y'all taking y'all time out and doing this. I know you got a flight. Y'all can be making money. Y'all can be chilling with y'all family. So I appreciate that. And then outside of this, like, as a person that's trying to come up in this industry, both of y'all have given me knowledge and just not even outside of the information, just y'all being genuine. You know what I'm saying? I can see you in the studio in Atlanta, this love. Cam, you already know I call your phone too much to get it right. So, man, I just appreciate y'all. Royalty Media, she the one that gonna get us right, man. Shout out to her. And yeah, appreciate y'all.